Hey everyone, before we start, I just want to talk about Twitch items and runes. And the first item I'd go for is Blade of the Ruined King. This item is good on Twitch because not only does this give damage, it also has attack speed, lifesteal, as well as a slow. The reason why I get this rather than the Storm Razor is because it has more attack speed, allowing Twitch's ultimate to become more accurate. It also has a slow, making Twitch easily chase down targets that are out of position. Second item I'd go for is Runan's Hurricane. This has really good synergy with Twitch because not only does this allow you to farm faster, it also has good synergy with your ulti. Then the third item I'd go for is Infinity Edge. Not only does this up my damage, it also increases my critical strike, allowing me to assassinate squishy targets. You could go for the Lord Dominix if they're very tanky, but usually you'd go for the Infinity Edge because they don't have much armor yet. Then we go for the Stasis Enchant. This would give Twitch survivability, allowing you to buy time when you're caught out of position or when someone tries to assassinate you. Usually, you'd go for the Ionian Enchant so that the cooldown of your skills as well as summoner spells will be lowered, but if they have a lot of crowd control, you could go for the Mercury Threads, or if they have a lot of assassins, you could even go for the Steel-Plated Stasis. But usually, I'd go for the Ionian Boots so that it will lower the cooldown of my Flash, third skill, and ultimate. After this, we go for the Lord of Mixed Regards if we haven't gotten it yet. This would give us the Armor Pen to shred through tanks, as well as more crit rate. Last item is obviously Guardian Angel. This would give you a second life, a bit of damage, and a bit more durability. If your GA is on cooldown, you could go for the Bloodthirster, achieving maximum crit, as well as more lifesteal for sustainability. Going to the runes, the first rune that I'd go for is Lethal Tempo. This is very important for Twitch, because the longer the fight goes, the stronger he will be. Then the second rune I'd go for is Hunter Vampirism. This would give me more sustainability as well as a bit more AD. Third rune that I'd go for is Hunter Titan. This would give us more HP as well as tenacity if the opponents have a lot of crowd control. An alternative rune for this would be Nullifying Orb. You'd only get this if they don't have much CC or they have a lot of assassins in their team. Then the last rune I'd go for is usually Pathfinder. This would make my roams a lot faster as well as give me HP and mana when out of combat. An alternative rune for this would be Nimbus Cloak. If you want to focus more on team fights, this is the perfect rune which allows you to kite opponents a lot easier. So that is it for Twitch's items and runes, and I will see you guys in game. Going to the game, I'm going to be playing Twitch Jungle and show you the pros and cons of this champion. In this matchup, we're currently up against Shyvana, and in a Twitch versus Shyvana, this should be favorable towards the Twitch due to early ganks. But if we're not able to gank well, then this should be favorable towards the Shyvana since she farms faster than us. So what we want to do is to become as active as we can in the early game, ganking lanes whenever possible, and if we're able to get successful ganks, not only do we get our laners ahead, we also get gold from those ganks. The clear that I'm doing here is a red start into pathing to the easiest lanes to gank. What I mean by this is checking on the lanes. Both side is a Lucian Lulu into Caitlyn Braum, which means that there's not much kill pressure there. But when you look at the other lanes, such as the mid, it's going to be TF who has crowd control into a melee matchup. So there's a high chance that I would be able to gank that lane. And looking at the Baron lane, it's going to be a Sion into Jace, wherein Jace should have the priority, which means he will be overextended, and that can mean a possible gank. That's why after finishing the red buff, I went for the Raptors instead of going for the Krugs, and started pathing my way onto the top side. Looking at the mid, there's a possible fight and a gank that could happen. So what I do here is I position myself for a possible gank. And seeing that the Yone, going for an overextended, wanted to last hit the creeps, went for the auto attack, third skill, and secured the kill. I went for level 2 of my third skill here because of the fact that my second skill isn't that strong early on. Top lane, as I said, would be extended, so I go for another gank. Sion goes in for the flash. Even though he doesn't hit the stun, this should be enough damage for me to get another kill. Not only am I able to get a mid lane gank, I'm also able to gank the Baron lane. That's why pathing is so important when playing jungle Twitch into the easiest lane that you could go for. What people usually say is that Twitch's clear is quite slow, but on the contrary, it's on average, but it only gets faster, especially once you're able to get your items. Unfortunate lag that happens here, and luckily, I didn't die, and the blue buff didn't reset as well. This gives me the chance to be able to go for a full clear since I was able to successfully pull off early ganks. Looking at the mid lane, knowing that Yone and Jace both have no flashes, I tried to see if I could go sneak another gank. Seeing that Yone is at the tower, I reckoned that this would not be possible anymore, so I just go back to my own camps to start a full clear. Knowing that the Shyvana started top side, I ping the bot side because there's a high chance that Shyvana's just going for a full clear into a bottom lane gank since she knows that I'm at the top side. There's a low chance that she would appear top because of the fact that she started at that side. Twisted Fate, using his ultimate, seeing that Shyvana's at the bot side, tries to look for a gank, and seeing that the Jace is overextended, I try to go for another gank. Shyvana spotted at the bot side, not sure why my bot lane didn't go back. After spotting her there, knowing this information that their jungler's bot side, immediately punish the Jace for having no flash. He tries to burst down the Sion, but it's not enough, and this gives me another kill. Another tip about Twitch is to always re-gank a lane, especially if they have no flash, because what that means is that they have no more means of escape. Really good early start. I'm able to get my Blade of the Ruined King 3 minutes in, and this would not only help me with my ganks, it would also help me clear the camps faster. With the bot camp spawning, I go and clear the red buff and look for a possible gank. But if I'm not able to see any ganks, I just go and clear my own camps. Another thing about Twitch is that when you get full stacks on your passive and you use your third skill, it would actually detonate, meaning that it would be AoE. Seeing another possible gank bot, I immediately go for it instead of the Krugs. Flashing in, I try to hit the Caitlyn, but it's blocked by Brom's shield. So we just take the Brom's life instead. Overall, it's still worth it. I should have not used the flash, but what's important is that we're able to get our lanes ahead. And if you have noticed, I've been able to gank all of the lanes from the bot lane, mid lane, and the Baron lane. Shyvana goes for a gank bot. Is able to get a counter kill. My team overextended a bit. I try to check if Caitlyn is still there so that we would probably assassinate her. And seeing that she went for a safe back, I go back and buy my items since the objectives are spawning soon. I type as well that their jungler has no ultimate. Knowing Shyvana, she's very strong with ultimate, but without it, she's gonna be very weak. And this is an opportunity for me to try and get Dragon. Another thing about Witch is that he could secure objectives pretty easily with the use of his third skill plus smite. With his third skill dealing about 300 damage, once the objective falls below 1.1k, you could easily secure it with the third smite combo. I use my ulti to try to poke them a bit. Yone goes in with his own ulti. We poke Yone pretty low, and this means that it's gonna be a 5v3, knowing that their Jace is at the top side as well. Brom is using his shield to try and block me, but knowing that we have the numbers advantage, I tell my team to go in, and what I'm doing here is trying to secure the objective as fast as possible because we're on a timer since their Jace is pushing top side. Once the objective falls below the 1.1k threshold, secure it with the third smite, and seeing that their Caitlyn is pretty low, I go for the Shyvana instead, look to where she goes for the TP, check the bushes, and once I see her at the bot side, we go in and secure the kill. Really good because we burn her ulti as well, which means that this would most probably be a free herald. I look to see where Caitlyn goes for the teleport behind the tower and pretty safe TP, so I go back instead. And seeing that their Yone is starting the Rift Herald, I go ping my team to contest it since their Shyvana is still dead. And I know that I would reach the objective before their jungler. Really good that Jace was able to prevent our first tower from falling down. Now that I'm here, I go and secure the objective. Third plus smite doesn't give Shyvana any chance for a steal. Activate my ultimate. Try to chase down the Brom. With TF using his ulti, we're able to CC chain the Brom, take him down. What I do is I immediately summon the Rift Herald since the plates are almost gone, and not only are we able to secure the Dragon and Herald, we're also able to get the first tower, which is really big for our team. With that, I feel pretty comfortable pushing mid lane, and seeing that their Caitlyn is trying to get a counter take at the bot side, I try and go to punish her. With the Lulu with me, this should be a pretty free kill if I'm able to use my skills right. Forcing her flash plus third skill, I still have my third skill, and once she reaches a very low HP, we go for the execute. Really good ganks overall. Shyvana Seeing that she's gonna be at the tri-bush, Lulu, I don't know why she went for the face check, forcing her own flash, and I don't want to go for a face check because Braum and Shyvana would instantly burst me if I meet them at the bush. Once my team is there, I go and chase. TF has his own stun card, and as soon as he's able to hit a stun onto the Braum, I activate my own ultimate, burst down the Braum. Shyvana is caught as well. We take her down. Yone goes in with good CC, but not enough damage since Yone is a late game scaling champion. And what I do here is I try to look for some kills if they try and overextend. Jace flashes in, and Twitch is quite squishy, so I had to flash out for safety. Thinking about taking their Caitlyn out, but looking at the position of my team, they're not ready, so I go for the mid lane gank instead. Opening up with my auto attack, waiting for max stacks before using my third skill, and we almost burst down the Yone. Very unfortunate. This is one of the weaknesses of Twitch, is that if you're not able to burst your opponent in one combo, then there's a high chance that you will get bursted instead. Twisted Fate, great ultimate, punishing the Caitlyn, and overall we're able to get a 1-for-1 trade. Despite dying, I'm still pretty happy with what's happening because I'm able to complete my Runans. There's Shyvana playing quite greedy, wants to steal my red. We go in, steal it from her, and even though their Shyvana was able to go for a Flash Plus ultimate, we're able to stack up our passive well, and once we're able to stack our passive, then our third skill would have unlimited range, so we're able to secure the kill. I use my ultimate just to scare the Braum and Jace away, and without my ultimate, I just go back to farm my old camps. With the Runans completed, this would make my clears pretty fast and make my team fighting a lot stronger, giving me AoE damage with my passive. For those who are saying Twitch jungle clear is quite slow, once I complete my Runans, look how fast I clear the camps, and it's only gonna get faster, especially once I'm able to complete my Infinity Edge. Another tip about Twitch is that when you don't have your ultimate, it's best to farm your own jungle, and with the Runans, I'm able to farm my lanes pretty quickly as well. Going with the recall, I now have my Infinity Edge, and this is Twitch's biggest power spike. Not only do we have AoE damage, but our single target is very, very strong as well. All we need to do is position properly, and if we're able to hit multiple targets with our ulti, then this would almost guarantee a victory. I see that a fight is happening in the side. The most important thing right now is that I don't get caught and I'm able to freely hit the opponents. It's best to only show yourself once your teammate engage or once the opponents use their skills. With the objective spawning, I hit Caitlyn's trap. Yone tries to catch me. We're able to dodge it, take him down with a third skill, activate my ultimate, poke down the Shyvana, put her pretty low. Jace as well, putting him really low. I flash in to try to secure the kill, put them on 1 HP. Unfortunately, we're very squishy, so we get taken down in the process. Lucian, 1v1, and we get the teamfight win. A bit greedy for me flashing in, but that's one of Twitch's weakness. If you're not able to burst the opponents fast enough, then you would get bursted down instead. Overall, I think it's pretty decent. We're able to secure a free Rift Herald, and I immediately go for the Dragon to try and contest. Hopefully, we're able to get it. But seeing it, their position, Lucian is quite low, goes down. My team is able to secure the Rift Herald, so I go and try to look for a Dragon contest. Seeing that their Jace and Caitlyn are out of position, immediately go in, try to burst them down, but Braum's shield is a very big problem and it doesn't cause my ultimate to go through. Get punished for it since I'm not able to burst them, and we actually lose the fight. I'm playing pretty greedy, and this goes to show that you have to play very smart when playing Twitch jungle. If you're placed in a bad position or you're not able to burst the opponents fast enough, then things are gonna turn out really bad. Not only do we lose a tower, we also lose the dragon, so this would prevent us from getting the 3 dragon win condition. What I'm doing right now is getting my stasis as fast as possible. This way, even though I'm placed in a bad position, I will still have a chance to live by the use of a stasis. And what I do here right now is securing the red buff. I can't chase down Caitlyn because I don't have my ultimate yet. but at least we're able to get the red, and I'm able to farm not only my jungle, but the lane camps pretty quickly with the use of my runans. Look to see if I could take down their bot tower, or catch anyone that's overextended. What I'm looking right now is to try and catch targets by themselves. At this point, I would be able to assassinate anyone if they're out of position. Look for a catch if someone's gonna clear their camps. Caitlyn is pretty free right now. TF goes in with a stun. Follow up with my own auto attacks. Finish her off with my third skill. Jace goes in, gets a counter kill. I still have my stasis plus ultimate. What I'm doing is I'm kiting them all, and having full stacks lethal tempo while your ultimate is active is really scary if you're able to use it properly. Yone actually goes in, and thanks to my stasis, I'm able to buy a lot of time, live through the Yone combo. Shyvana goes in, and she runs me down. But if I didn't have my stasis, I would have died a lot sooner, and I was able to buy time for my team to deal the damage that they needed as well. The most important thing right now is for me to be able to survive in team fights so that I would be able to deal a lot of damage. Really good stasis by Lucian to outplay the Yone, and we win the fight overall. Looking at the score, it's quite even though I'm quite fed. If I'm not able to position myself right or deal the necessary damage needed, then it would be hard for us to win a clash. With that in mind, what I'm building now is Lord Dominic's, which would give me armor penetration as well as crit, allowing me to shred even the tankier targets like Braum. Another thing about Twitch is that when you use your first skill, you only need 3 attacks so that you would get max stacks on your passive rather than the usual 5. That's why you would always want to use your first skill as much as possible when clearing your camps. Shyvana goes in for the ultimate. I position myself to use my ulti properly, and as soon as Braum uses his own shield, we go in, try to assassinate someone, but we can't overextend. All of our survivability spells are on cooldown. Yone gets a lucky stun onto me. We dodge Yone's ulti. Caitlyn flashes in. What I'm doing right now is trying to buy time while kiting the opponents. We lose the team fight. I try to assassinate the Caitlyn who's out of position. We take her down. Shyvana's pretty low as well. I try to chase her down, but seeing Braum and Jace's positioning, even if I'm able to take one of them down, I would trade my own life for it. So I decide to go back, buy my item, and try to catch them at the mid tower. Buying the Lord Dominic's would increase my power, and the most important thing here right now is for me to be able to protect the inhibitor tower from falling down. Seeing that Sayang uses his own ulti, this gives me a chance to possibly burst someone, open up with my own ulti. But since the opponents are quite fast, they're able to escape. And another thing is that if you noticed, I bought Ionian boots so that it would decrease the cooldown of my third skill plus ultimate, which are very important, especially when it comes to the team fights. Without my first skill, my passive would not be as strong. So what I'm doing right now is waiting for my first skill to go up, and once it's up, I immediately use it. Think about starting the Baron, but they have a Scuttle Crab there, and it would be suicide if we tried to go for a Baron take. Clear my bot side camps, take the red buff, and prepare myself for the third dragon. The most important thing here right now is that I don't get caught, and with my flash and stasis being up, this would give us a good sign that we could win a fight, and allows me to dodge possibly the Yone and Shyvana. Seeing that another fight is happening, Sion is tanking damage, so I go for their backline, go for the Jace plus Caitlyn, put them really low. While kiting, Yone flashes in. I have to use my own stasis. We dodge Jace Shock Blast, flash out to dodge Jace's combo as well, and look how much damage that we are dealing to the opponents. Even though I'm pretty low, we go in, secure the objective. Look at my lifesteal with the Blade of Ruin King plus Vampirism, giving me sustainability in a fight. With my recall, I buy Guardian Angel, which would give me extra survivability, especially against the Yone and Shyvana. Looking at the death timers, Yone and Jace are still 20 seconds before respawning. This opens up for a possible Baron take. Immediately start it. We take this pretty quickly with Lucian plus Twitch. But as soon as I see that Shyvana is there, I try to look for a turn. I still have my ultimate. Zone the Braum away catch their Caitlyn. Look how much damage I deal. 500 per hit. Shyvana wants to try to take the Baron sneakily. We take her life instead, and with that, we're able to secure the Baron. The fight's still not yet over. Their Caitlyn is overextended. Even though they see me in the control ward, they have nowhere else to go. Caitlyn tries to recall into the bush. I play it a bit safe because Braum is probably there as well. We go for the carry instead. Let the support live because with 4 members down and a open mid, this would most likely be a GG push. The opponent surrender, and we secure the game. With that, you could clearly see the advantages and disadvantages of Twitch. Advantages being his ganks are really strong as well as his burst damage, but his major disadvantage is that he's very squishy and can easily be bursted down. We get MVP on our team for doing well, get most damage, 44k, 15 for 10 MVP, and I hope you guys enjoyed our Twitch jungle. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Peace out. Ciao, ciao.